please turn to page 7 of the prayer book. Refuge in bodhicitta. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings never be parted from sorrowless bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from bias, attachment, and hatred. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme among humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who were wise then I prostrate. With pure bodies, form supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With supreme signs, face like spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust-free like you, the 3 worlds are not. Incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior, having great compassion, the Founder, having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you, the one gone to thusness, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and who also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the sublime community intending virtue, I prostrate. Homage to the Supreme Buddha, homage to the Dharma refuge, homage to the great Sangha, to all 3 ever devout homage, to all worthy of respect, bowing with bodies as many as all realms' atoms in all aspects, with supreme faith I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions, subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a mirage, the flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the foe of faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. From Tushita's hundreds of God's protector's heart, to tip of this fresh, pure white heat, curved like cloud, O Losandrapa, Dharma's omniscient king, pray come to this place with your disciples, in space ahead on lion throne, lotus and moon, Venerable Guru, smile brightly with delight. Praise day hundreds of eons to spread doctrine. As supreme merit, feel for my mind of faith. Your wisdom mind sees full range of knowables. Eloquent speech adorns fortunate ears. Your beauteous body, fame, glory outstanding. Homage to you, worthwhile to think of, hear and see. Pleasant offerings of water, various flowers, fragrant incense, light perfume, and so on. Oceans of offerings set out and envisioned, offered up to you, supreme field of merit. Non-virtue committed with body, speech, and mind, which I have heaped up since beginningless time, especially what has contradicted 3 vows. Each I confess from my heart with strong regret. In time of strife you strove to learn and practice, shunned mundane concerns, made life essential. O protector from depths of our hearts, we rejoice in your powerful great deeds. Venerable Gurus, from love and wisdom, clouds densely massed in your Dharmakaya sky, pray loose a rain of vast profound Dharma on fields of disciples just as needed. May whatever virtue that I've here gathered bring benefit to all beings and doctrine, and may it make Venerable Tsongkhapa's essential teaching specially shine forever. Migmet sewe ter chen rezik, dreame kempe wampo jom belyong, du fu malu jon se song we dak, gan chen kepe song gen song karpa, lo san drape shabla so ade. O glorious and precious root Guru, pray take seat of lotus on my crown, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments of body, speech, and mind. O glorious and precious root Guru, pray take seat of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments common and supreme. O glorious and precious root Guru, pray take seat of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness, until supreme awakening remain steadfast. Homage to the exalted 3 jewels. Thus I have heard at one time, the Blessed One was dwelling in Radhagri on Vulture Mountain, together with a great assembly of monks and a great assembly of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One was absorbed in the concentration of the countless aspects of phenomena called profound illumination. At that very time, the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, was looking perfectly at the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, perfectly looking at the emptiness of inherent existence of the 5 aggregates also. Then, through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said to the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, how should a child of the lineage train who wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom? Thus he spoke, and the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, replied to the Venerable Shariputra as follows. Shariputra, whichever son or daughter of the lineage wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom should look perfectly like this. subsequently looking perfectly and correctly at the emptiness of inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form, form is not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, like this, all phenomena are empty, without characteristics. That is, they are not produced and do not cease. They have no defilement and no separation from defilement. They have no decrease and no increase. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness. There is no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visible form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, no mental phenomenon. There is no I element, so forth up to no mind element, up to no element of mental consciousness. There is no ignorance and no cessation of ignorance, and so forth up to no aging and death, and no cessation of aging and death. Likewise, there is no suffering, no origin, no cessation, and no path, no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and abide in the perfection of wisdom, and because their minds have no obstructions, they have no fear. Passing utterly beyond error, they attain the final state beyond sorrow. All the Buddhas who reside in the three times by relying upon the perfection of wisdom become manifest and complete Buddhas in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, and complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the equal to the unequaled mantra, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, since it is not false, should be known as the truth. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is proclaimed. Tayata gate gate paragate parasom gate bodhisoha. Shariputra, this is how a bodhisattva, a great being, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom. Then the Blessed One arose from that concentration and said to the superior Avalokiteshvara, the bodhisattva, the great being, well said, O child of the lineage, so it is. The profound perfection of wisdom should be practiced exactly as you have taught, and the Tathagatas will rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, the Venerable Shariputra, the superior Avalokiteshvara, the bodhisattva, the great being, and the entire assembly, as well as worldly beings, gods, humans, demigods, Gandharvas, and others, were filled with admiration and highly praised what had been spoken by the Blessed One. In the holy supreme abode of the Dakinis, possessed of clairvoyance and miraculous powers, unwaveringly caring for practitioners as your children, homage to the host of the three places Dakinis, Akasamara Sashada Samarada. Tayataom gate gate paragate parasom gate bodhisoha. Through the power of the truth of the exalted three-jewel speech, may all on the side of negativity, such as the four Maras, be stopped. May they become non-existent. May they be pacified. All enemies, obstructors, and hindrances, shante kuri soha. The 80,000 types of obstructors pacified, free from adverse, harmful conditions. May all be conducive and perfect auspiciousness. Bring happiness and well-being here, right now. Saji Perki Jun Shing Le Tong Tramri Rabling Ji Ni De Gem Padi San Ye Jing Du Mig Te Ua Yi Dro Kunam Da Jing La Chu Pa Sho Jetsun Lama Tam Pa Kye Nam Ki Tu Kukala Tien Se Trin Drine Ji Ta Tsam Pe Du Charpawabtu so idam guru mandala kaniyatayami Jodan soke chognam la Jangchub adu dagni kapsuchi dagi chunyan gi personam ki drola pencher sangye dropasho Jodan soke chognam la Jangchub adu dagni kapsuchi dagi chunyan gi personam ki drola pencher sangye dropasho Chodang soke chognam la Jangchub adu dagni kapsuchi dagi chunyen ki personam ki drola pencher sangye dropasho
Okay, good morning everyone. How's the weather? It's raining? Feel cold? It's raining? Yeah. It's the change the season. Anyway, it is so wonderful for we all come back together to see we would like to learn about meditation. First, also, whenever you do meditation, it's very good to, set up the, merit field or refuge. Always, whenever you use meditation, think about in front of you, Buddha, Dharma, Sanghas, around you, or front you. Always, it's very important to think about that way. The firstly, everyone just be relaxed, okay? We need to relax the body, relax mind. Just much that you can relax. Then think about front or above you, Buddha Shakyamuni, as we see the statue. It's not like solid statue, like a real living Buddha, like a smiling face, wearing the monk's robe, looking for you. Very colorful. Around Buddha, all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, holy beings. Everyone like colorful, real living Buddha. Much you can thinking. You can say all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. They're all looking for you, like a smiling face. Then around you also your parents, your friends, even your enemies, all sentient beings all around you. Shri, same as Buddha Shakyamuni, same as Avalokiteshvara. Think about that again and again and again and again. Also your mirror feel Buddha's energy, very colorful or very beautiful or very good looking, it's living Buddha. Think about you are the really peaceful place, relaxed place. Whatever you see, whatever you hear, whatever you thought, or very peaceful, very joyful. Think about Buddha's body, speech, mind. Body's a rainbow body. Whatever speech is Dharma. Buddha's mind is compassion, loving kindness, understand reality, everything. Remember qualities of Buddha. Now come back your own body. Your body is always sick, always illness. Your speech is always harsh words, bad words. Where your thoughts always jealous, angry, attachment, hatred, or bad thoughts. How big different Buddha's body, speech, mind, and our own body, speech, mind. Think about how Buddha become like that kind. Everything's pure. How we become everything's unpure. What we say, what we think, our body is always mind's not unhappy. When we say things not nice, our body is always illness. Buddha's body, speech, not like that. Then again thinking, for Bodhisattvas, we request for them to please blessing my body, speech, mind. Think about you ask, you request that. the light come from Buddha's heart, hit your body. You feel happy, peace, relax. Then also feel happy, peace, relax. Now think about the refuge. Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Buddha is the founder refuge. Whatever he say, he or she say, teach, is all Dharma. Rejoice. You're able to meditation, think about Buddha's image. Okay. Otherwise you guys fall asleep and snorty. You wake up the neighbors. Okay? This is like basic meditation. Now I like to today a little bit teach for the 4 abundant powers. 4 abundant powers? 4 abundant powers. Right? Everyone know that, right? 4 opponent. Opponent. 4 opponent powers. Opponent? Opponent. 4 opponent powers. I said many times. Still I don't say. Still my, you see, if you don't use for, it's always problem. 4 opponent powers. Opponent powers. Is that correct? Opponent powers. Therefore, think about for our mind is always like cloudy, right? Cloudy. Always something going on, cloudy. Our body is always pain something. Here, we're getting old and we have pain here, right? And our, speech, our thoughts was always not nice. Even if we try to our best, we said the others, they always take the wrong way. They don't understand, right? Even we say best to it, but they go wrong way. If Buddha's words, it doesn't hurt us. Does it hurt us? Is Buddha's teaching any Buddha's speech or Buddha's message? It hits us, hurts? No, right? We don't see, wow, what Buddha talk about that? You don't have that, right? Then usually also when Buddha's image, we can see everyone's very beautiful eyes. Of course, Buddha's mind is clear. There was a big difference. Big difference. Then we think about how they come. Why this big difference? You know, Buddha's body, speech, mind is free from all the ignorance, all negative thoughts, negative actions. Our body, speech, mind is stuck in negative thoughts, negative emotions, negative actions. We create a lot of negative thoughts. Now what the best way? We purify negative karma, negative thoughts, negative actions. This is the best way to become same as Buddha. There are 4 opponent powers. Opponent powers. I think maybe someone have to teach me for kindergarten English. This is always very important, okay? When you have purified, they have any negative karmas. If you purify 4 opponent powers, all purified, like something now we can, the very strong chemical, they can wash everything. They can clean everything, something like that. Therefore, everyone knows, right? What are the 4? The power, the basis. Power, the basis means refuge or bodhicitta. Sometimes say, from the Buddha's statue, but it's also good. The main thing is your visualization, or you think about power, the basis, renunciation, bodhicitta, understand emptiness, or refuge. This is the power, the basis. Power, the basis, basics. Basis. This is very important. Before that, first we need to recognize for our negative karmas, negative thoughts, negative deeds. Do you have any? It's me or you? Still there? I can check? Yeah. Okay, you go down. Okay. Ooh, it's good. Good, no problem. You see, small condition makes big change, right? Therefore, it's last week. Do you have any bad thoughts? Can you remember anything? Do you have any bad thoughts? Do you do any bad things? Oh, really? Usually, no, when we think about it. When we have some emotions or unhappy feeling, it shows we did something wrong. And when when we have like that kind of thought or that kind of remember or that time you're not very happy, something going on, you have no reason, that's just something going on in your mind. Even you see someone, you just feel unhappy. If you hear something, you're not very happy. There's no reason. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes, of course, someone complains you. Maybe someone says something or did something for you, but sometimes we have no reason. Either way, it shows we have very thick negative karma, our heart, our mind. It shows. That time, whenever you at that time, emotions try to purify that negative karma. Then what we have to do? First to recognize or remember or identify any time something wrong with you. Just remember that or recognize that. Not try to why, how, what happened, why this is going on. Not just recognize. Oh, today I'm not very happy. It shows I have very strong negative karma. Or yesterday I don't get much sleep. It shows I have some negative karmas, very thick negative karma. That time, just recognize that. Then, okay, now I want to purify my negative karma. Then first, remember that negative karma. This is what we call? Regret. Regret. No regret, we cannot purify. We need to very strong regret. Same as when you eat the poison. After you eat, you know this poison that you can do whatever, right? If the doctor says you have to open your heart, you say, okay, go ahead. Right? Because you know that the poison is dangerous. Since you know that. Same as that. It's a requirement, what I did wrong for me, not like that also. This was not it. Like, okay, today I'm not very happy. It shows I did something wrong, intentionally or unintentionally. Or I very thick negative karma I want to provide. I never ever create like that kind anymore. This is first one. Second, how we provide then with basics also. No. Correct. Basis. First regard, then you start basis, okay? Then how can we, okay. If you have some Buddha's image, go to front that, also think about the refuge, or think about the bodhicitta, or think about the emptiness, or think about the renunciation. This is the basis. Also it's good, some Buddha's image. You say, okay, promise, I'm not doing any more that. I promise. Then you take refuge, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Like you promise from the Buddha is more strong. Okay? The second. Then third, now we purify. How can it come? I didn't touch here. Okay. Big line is, Hey, stop. Okay? Yeah. Then, whatever you practice, this is also the antidote of the how I say, negative karma or delusions, okay? First, regret. Second, basis, how I say? Basis antidote is a refuge, bodhicitta, lemikant. Think about that. This is the basis. Above that, then you can recite Om Mani Padme Hum, recite Vajrasattva mantra. Not just Om Mani Padme Hum, not like that. Okay? Think about that. I want to put away all our negative karmas. Okay? Then you can recite any mantras, any prayers. Usually the 100 syllables mantras, Also then 35 Buddhas practice is usually the common, everyone do that. You have so many different kind of any actions for virtues, this become antidote your negative karmas. Okay? Okay, now maybe you can do a little bit of meditation. First, can you remember? Do you have any bad thoughts, bad deeds? Did you do any bad things you did? You remember anything? Last week, this week, yesterday, 2 days before, you have some bad thoughts, bad things? Remember that. It shows you have a lot of very thick negative karma. Remember, okay, yesterday I'm not very happy. Or yesterday I got very angry. Or 2 days ago I'm very sad. Can you remember any bad thoughts? Or yesterday I felt just very angry for no reason. If you have any thoughts, or 2 days ago someone makes me very angry. If you have forced just example, one object you think that, then you, oh, I didn't do any bad things. That's very bad. Then you just immediately to purify. Sit on the front of the Buddha's image. Take refuge, Buddha Dharma Sangha. Then what would you do? Or you can do prostration. You can recite the mantras. Or you can meditation emptiness. This is the antidote. After you 5-10 minutes you do that, then also you say, promise, okay, I'm not angry anymore. I'm not bad thoughts like same thing yesterday, I don't do anymore. Like try to promise that. Okay? Telangatu topshi lagaros. Topshi gi cha matawe dipa ta nyebachin yomares.
So those are the 4 opponent powers, and there isn't any negativities that cannot be purified through this 4 opponent power practice.
Okay? Then that topshi dan reve nyamne chunjuji and nyamne nibachin boyros.
So this practice of the 4 opponent power is very powerful for purifying negativities.
Okay? Then that suzu semla chi melepe chakang yobatige suzu jila nyomushu chimbo yobat taat dengue yorwa.
So whatever bad thoughts or bad emotions that we have in our side, in our mind, that's the sign of having lots of delusions in our mind.
Tendi semla chi shang kawla ya tanga nyeba chimbo yosare samne nyeba shaya tapche ores.
And so at that time, when you have these bad thoughts, you shouldn't think that, looks like I have lots of negativities or bad karmas, and so I should strive in purifying them.
아니 다 야고 모두도 삼치네. 아니 다 아니 잠도 샹치고 셈 어떤데 지까지 아니 소소 쌌다고 그래 셈라 삼고 여러.
And so by thinking that this is not good, that negativity in my mind is not good, so and then on the basis of taking refuge or generating bodhicitta.
Okay. 아니 대땡지다. 다 대주주자라야 다 대근도라야. 아니 소소고 간도에 제와 옛날에 나타와 옛날에 야 돈이 곰바이나이 강 곰바티 아니 다 님복근 집에 답선로 여러.
And so on the basis of taking refuge and generating bodhicitta, then you do any kind of practice. Either you do your daily practice or special practice, additional practice you do of reciting 100 silver mantra or doing the 35 Buddha practice or prostrations to the 35 Buddha. So those all practice becomes the power of antidote.
제다다 수수배나 스마치보메바는 예바요 따르이나 수승한 예반데 사슴생아도 게 되게메바인자 다 주말라 땅가 간지 링아 예스디 예바 그냥 싸그 매삼데 지 담자로 쓰는 데 오래스.
So when you find yourself, being very negative or, being unhappy, depressed, sad, like angry and so forth, then that time you have to find that, oh, this is a sign of having lots of delusions in my or negativities in my mind, and so I need to purify them. And since we don't remember each and every negative actions that we have created, so therefore, so from now on, I will try my best. Or if you can make promise, of course that's the best. But if not, then try my best to not create any negative karmas.
Okay? And tell a topsig nyamle, nyere de suzu nyebadan redava, nyebasaya, nyebashaya, tat lacha yonamanadris.
So you make that promise or commitment. So that's the power of promise. So the fourth one. So not to repeat that kind of negative karma again, even at the cost of one's life. That's like very strong promise. But if you can make it, if not, then just try your best, and for a certain amount of time. It's for 1 minute, for 2 minutes, for 1 hour, for 1 day, for 1 year, like that. You can make a promise, and so those are the 4 opponent power practices.
Okay? 아니 간도 직 삼점 직 선바마 뜸 되는 용도 아쳐도 직 선바 가지는 마뜸 되는 것까지 직 잡로돼 나되는 용도 와서 간도.
So sometimes you feel very stressed, right? Like very, like feeling very gloomy and dark, like headache, and so very stressed because of very stress.
아니 디갑라야다 야슈데 틱 당한데 가르쳐와야나 앞소만 포르잖아 am terrible am what working and 되는 손단에 고팽이 말했어.
So at that time, feeling more depressed, who will not help.
다 티가 가르나 똥랭이 냠을 쳤고 그랬어.
So at that time, it would be good, to engage in practice of taking and giving.
로 똥랭이 냠을 쳤지나 초대 수수가 다 semba 맞아도 다다 카투판 로고요 미시다이나 티게 소소라 빼 팽겨 풀라.
So when you do the practice of taking and giving, I don't know if it's really going to be effective on the other person, but it really helps your mind to calm down.
Okay? 오두시나 똥랭이 냠을로 제와이나 아니야 고 샘죠 삼로 따다다 고 땡에 샹잘로도 제와 아니 땡에 tro도 제와서 용거로 와서.
So when you're able to do that kind of practice, then that is what we call transforming or taking the adverse condition into a path.
Okay? 마술하게 왔던 샘제도 저 대화나 대회 지나다 보자 샘제도 동화도 동화도 잡아서는 연계 와서.
So we always recite that line, I think, may all sentient beings be free from the suffering and the cause of suffering, may all beings be happy and possessed with the cause of happiness and so forth, right?
제 자가 아니 소소된데 다 간지 링아 다 소소고 링아야 좀 강연으로 오지 마대와요 갑라야 아니 지 동leg이 냠내 때도 제다와나 빼 무슨 배 팬독 첨보 단 니바 첨보 인사리다.
So at the time, when you are not feeling well, or either physically or mentally, and at that time, if you can do the practice of taking and giving, it will become very useful and helpful to yourself, and it's a very, actually a very big practice to be able to do that.
Okay. 다된 시당 남주 가디는 냠내 치안도 직치. 아니 다 남주 조지다 먼저 첸디라 나와 나젠데 됐어 막 독도고 그래서 총다도 대변 내가 전부 자기 그래서.
So that's the general practice that we should all do, and especially like reducing as much attachment, to this life as possible. Would be very good.
그러와 자샤잔이 자상업주 텐데 그치다 자상업주 데이터 제가 주막 제도 제고 그래서.
So if you think about, as a practitioner, as a Dharma practitioner, we should always think about the future life. Of course, 100%, would be very good. But if not, at least like 50%. So if you think about this life 50%, then think about the future life for 50%.
How you think this? 내가 자상업주 무슨 말하는 건도 가수게나.
Will you be able to give like 50% of your attention for the next life?
It's hard, right? 나도 슈칭 보인다. 나 만나야, 나 마사야, 나 지고요. 나 대고요. 내 남이야 보요. 잔자 꼴삼 다데 그러었어.
And so mostly we are thinking about oneself, right? Because of our strong grasping at the self-cherishing attitude, and because of strong self-cherishing attitude, we always think about ourselves. I, me, my family, my friend, my siblings, and so forth. So always like thinking about oneself.
제가 오늘 지나 대강도 남배 춘데 제가 저는 건데 강도 저자 맡아봐도 그래도 시절 몇 번을 그래도 왔어.
So it's only practiced in Buddhism. Otherwise, in real life, it feels like impossible to do that, right? Especially in the West, it's impossible to do this practice of exchanging oneself with others.
제가 세대가 나가신다. 저 맡아봤고 아니 다 나신 게 아니 렌데다 시면하시 독토나 아니 민주제가 돼서 민주제 전이 제시요래 제시 think about the goddess.
So what is the method for giving up attachment to this life? Yeah. So in order to give up attachment to this life, one should think about or meditate on death and impermanence. So if you think about death and impermanence, then you will not think about so much of this life. And then in order to then, like even in the future life, even if one is born in the future life as a happy being, like a human being, still there's a problem, right? So therefore, give up attachment to the next life also. So to give attachment to the next life, think about the karmic law of cause and effect.
Okay.
And so if you give that, if you have that, then those are like a cause, for generating renunciation, to be free from cycle existence.
오, 두 전화배나 다 그래도나 강들은 년세 건다 타와 된일로 쉬나되는 민주제 원래생도 와서 타와 된일로 세대 나 녀모다 타와 체고도 삼별로지 제나 민주제 원래서 다 고대 오지나 민주세대 녀모다 잔대게 로jel라 그래서.
So through that contemplation or meditation on death and impermanence and karmic law of cause and effect, when you have this strong wish wanting to be free from the entire cycle existence, that's called renunciation. So wishing to be free from the cycle existence, free from the sufferings and the cause of sufferings. So the cause of sufferings are the karma and delusion, right? So in brief, wishing to be free from the suffering and the cause of suffering, the karma and delusion, is called renunciation.
나도 저랑 인주돼서 요새 전도 동아리 단독 줘 넣어야 전도 잘 동아리 단독로 가디나 요에 와서.
So we do have a little bit of renunciation, maybe what I call artificial renunciation, right? Not the genuine one, but artificial, temporary ones.
Right? 저도 녀모다 단독로 넣어야 가디나. 나 녀모다 타고도 말 동아리 타고도 삼도 와서 삼도 와서.
So you have the wish to be free from suffering all the time, right? You don't want to have suffering. So you have that wish all the time, right? To be free from suffering. But what about the cause of sufferings? Right? Wishing to be free from delusions. Do we have that? So like wishing to be free from attachment, anger, jealousy, ignorance, and so forth. Do we have that? Very difficult, right? So that we don't have. Most of us, ordinary beings, we don't have that because many of us don't even think of that as negative. So it's considered as natural. So when you see something beautiful, you get attached. That's okay, that's normal. And when when somebody says a bad thing to you or cause harm to you, you become angry. You say, oh, that's normal. Well, that's what we think, right? So we don't think of that as any bad.
Right?
Is that true? So we don't consider those as a bad thing, So, but of course we do think of something, like bad happened to us, that we consider as bad, like if it's sufferings or pain or sickness, then that we consider as a bad. But we don't think about the cause of those bad things. And so understanding the cause of the suffering, the delusions and the karma being the cause of the suffering, and then thinking that, oh, I must free from those delusions. So when you have that thought, then you really have the renunciation.
Okay?
So then so in order to if you have that, then your self-cherishing attitude will also become less or self-grasping ignorance will also become less, because all these delusions comes from the self-grasping ignorance.
Okay. 다창소 삼백상가서 곰대잖아. 내 자세다 때문에 간데 소소질 가디 째긴도 간데지네 째긴도 되게 소소라 가디 내와 째긴도 티콜라 창소 만소 까마파시 맞추시 창소 티콜라야 째곰제죠. 조금만 째곰제다.
So now think about these delusions in your mind: attachment, anger, ignorance, jealousy, miserliness, whatever, the negative thoughts, negative emotions that you can think of. Think about those delusions and analyze on that. What is it? Where did it come from? Whether it's good or bad? What kind of negative effects it brings, and so forth. So you do not a stabilized meditation, but do analytical meditation on that.
Okay.
For 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay. Today we do a little more meditation. Okay. Okay. Think about yourself. Okay. How's it? Where that come from? It makes you uncomfortable. 그래서 안에 던져 무슨 바지네. 다 텔 탄도를 놓치고 그래. 탄도를 놓치나 안에 미주 쟁 거래.
So identifying those delusions are very important, and then think about all the negativities, negative side of those delusions, right? The disadvantage of those delusions. And when you think about that, then of course you would have the wish to be free from that. So then with that, through that, then having that wish, wanting to be free from those delusions is very important.
Okay? 아다 내주제나 단단 가서 사제 도고 말했어. 대가라 가는 샹첩 셈고 그래서 대고랑 가서 남주 송그랬어.
And so then with that, then you'll have the one that when you have that genuine thought of wanting to be free from the suffering and the cause of suffering, and that's called the renunciation, right? So with the renunciation, then you will strive to achieve liberation or enlightenment. Of course, just with that you won't be able to achieve enlightenment, a full enlightenment like Buddhahood. For that you need bodhicitta. So that's what we've been talking about, right?
Okay. 아니 디저 당도 샹식 셈 공고 그래. 샹식 셈세다 다 빼면서 배치 뭐 니바치 뭐 샹식 셈만은 사제요 말했어.
And so that's so therefore we have to meditate or generate bodhicitta, and in order to generate bodhicitta we have to meditate on bodhicitta. And the bodhicitta is a very beneficial thought or mind, and without that we will not be able to achieve state of full enlightenment.
그러와 아니 샘체 탐셔대 아니 제가 난시가 둥을 안에 진짜 매번 양가 요방도 합삼당 그랬지.
So we think about how do we generate bodhicitta is by thinking about, and of course, after thinking about one's own suffering, then think about others being just like oneself, going through all these sufferings, all kinds of sufferings endlessly.
배찬으로 오셔야 배나 뭐지 숨지로와 락바다 감박가 타박 가치 아니 대양 나도 냐섬사게 되네요. 드리나를 룩 아니 대추나요 대양 님에 가면 생제 추나요잖아. 다 모두 타야 탑진로 주는 요 말로 와서.
So it's like a person who is tied with the ropes, right, in the back of his body, on his back, and tied, his hands and legs, everything's very tight, tied with the rope very tightly, and put in a net, with the net where you catch the fishes, right? Put in the net, and then close the net, and then throw you into the sea, right? Not in the daytime, but even in the nighttime, dark, completely dark, right? At that time, is there any chance for you to be free from there?
요. 락바담이 와지 제선을 룩면아야 코탑시래요. 양부야 인기는 코타야 그래와 요러스.
So like even if you are tied, but if you're not, close inside the net, maybe there's some chances, right, by losing yourself, to lose yourself.
그래와 다 락바담 채널이네 야지 님에 건로 지나야 미다오들은 통내야 지록 받치래요. 대한 생각 유선에 다그 말어스.
And the hands tied, put in a net. And then, if it's in the daytime, maybe people might see you, right, and then help you. But not, you're thrown in the dark, completely completely in the dark of night, inside the water, and nobody can see you. So how can you be protected, right? How can you be rescued?
어떻게 빼셔야 돼? 삼고 그래서 드네자 나라서 아니 단즈 마리바티야 아니 tum지 아니 레지 트래블러 투지 아니 다 가지 둥아섬지 가디나야 지금 뭐냐데 요래 대삼고 그래서.
So that's what we are like, we are tied by our delusions, like attachment, anger, ignorance, and so forth. And then we are put in the net or in the cage, a net of ignorance, self-grasping ignorance, and then we are tormented by all kinds of suffering. There are three kinds of sufferings: the suffering of pain, suffering of change, and suffering, all pervasive sufferings. These kind of three kinds of sufferings. So we are tormented by these kind of three sufferings all the time.
어텐디기 나서도 삼네 아니 다 텔레펜도 있어도 상주 셈께고 라바로.
And so think about all sentient beings tormented like that with the sufferings, all the three kinds of sufferings, tied by delusions in the net of the self-grasping ignorance. And so now think about those being in a very wretched condition and wanting to free them from all suffering. So for that, and it says, I must achieve enlightenment, state of full enlightenment. And so that wish, wanting to achieve state of full enlightenment, to rescue these beings, without in this wretched condition, is called bodhicitta.
제 장가 텐디기 동화가 냐서 된 거니 가서 란 쳐봐 옛날 다다 가서 지금 하코고 됐나 세마하고 좀 따도만 란 쳐봐 옛날 땡땡 샘질라 아니 비게 동화다 자야 탑싱아 체고군도 삼이 탑 샘비도 레그레스.
And so when we understand those sufferings, really understanding, not just knowing that, oh yeah, everybody's, we know that people go through suffering. We don't really understand. We don't really think about that all the time, right? And so that's why we don't have that wish. But if we really understand and think about that all the time, then we will have that wish, wanting to free them from those sufferings.
배차샤바이나 지나도 나가도 구세와 구세 샹가만 벌게와 데리지 지나도 내려온 눈들라 사네야 깜바 쇼바 차치 양 폴마도 와드네 아니 사리데나 장수 샘랑도 샘에 가르치사 나도 시단 대화 개요마 코 칠록샤는 나도 통통 대화마다나 코다 근데 동안도 내가 탑이 가래요나 다 가르치고도 나도 차기도 와서 가니 그 동안한테 받은 통고여러 와서.
So for example, like you see a goose, a bird, goose, which has fallen on the ground. It has broken its wings, broken its legs, and is bleeding. Is not able to fly, right? And so if you see that, with your bare eyes. So you see that right there in front of you, then you will have wish to do something to help it, right? Yeah? So that's how we should see the suffering of sentient beings, even though we are not related, to that bird in any way, but our compassion, right? Pity or compassion comes out, sympathy comes out, and wants to do something for it. So that's how we should, have towards all sentient beings.
Right? What you do when you see like that? You try to do something, right? You not just live. Oh yeah, poor guy, he's going to die. We're not walking away. I'm sure you guys maybe call the house the animal control or just call something
Rescue.
or good. You try to. Usually we don't have any connection with that. But when you really see the suffering going on, automatically the compassion come up. It shows also, His Holiness always say that human beings are not
So the human beings, they have the nature, right? By nature, compassionate. It's not violent by nature. By nature, it's compassionate.
Okay. Tendeza ngone pige dunga ranzamba ran choba yenna telanga ko dunga da traga tapinga che ko da sambe ni ji shu chenbo shaban ji tende yongores.
And so therefore, when we see somebody or some kind of creature going through that kind of sufferings, we will have this strong wish wanting to help them, to free them from their sufferings, right?
Okay. Tiga kardana ngado dunga ran cho togima ngado ran chogo yo samgo da ngado ran chogo mebe tar ngado soat kele gmendo was.
And so, because of not really understanding the suffering, therefore we are not able to have that thought. Otherwise, if we really understand, then we would see the suffering all the time. All these three kinds of tormented by three kinds of sufferings all the time. So when we see that really, going through that suffering, then we will have that thought automatically. And the reason why we don't have that thought is because we don't really understand that.
Ngandele semja dunga ta dunga sem kadina yore kanzo lago yore shege de ngone kanzo sem ran chogo mebe tare.
So we do understand, know somewhere, right? Like in our mind, it's all the sentient beings are going through all these kind of three kinds of sufferings, going through, are tormented by the three kinds of suffering. We know that, but we don't really understand that, and therefore we don't have the kind of feeling towards sentient beings.
Okay. What the needs jetana shanship sem jangore. Ta shanship se jewana ta shanship sem de shara pen chembore kasang so shede was.
So when you see that kind of suffering, when you understand the sentient beings going through those sufferings, just like you see a bird, being wounded, then like that. When you have that kind of feeling, then you really want to do something for them, and with that, you will want to achieve enlightenment for their benefit. And so once you have that, and that's called bodhicitta. And we talked about a little bit of all the benefits of bodhicitta, right?
제다 아니 샤적고 샘데 태와치면 주고 담바레스 가서 랍사인 바스.
So last time we talked about the bodhicitta being the entrance, the gateway to the Mahayana path.
샤적고 샘제나 아니 제나 쳐다 심이도 파파인 바나 아니 제나 제위세 찬도레스 랍사인 바스.
And then the other one is that you become the child of the victors, and even if you are cat, dog, or pig, if you have bodhicitta, you become a child of victors.
샤적고 다 디리 됐음바데 아니 샤적고 샘제나 샤적 샘제와나 아니 디리데 로마시 강사지 연바이나야 냐라 다추마나 아니 연대가도 소진 넘도 그래스.
And so then since you outshine the Sharavakas and the Patek Buddhas once you have generated bodhicitta.
Okay. 다 테마신 된셔도 가도.
So this is in outline 326.
동목급이 돌레서
326.
도시 측정은 도와서 동목급이 돌레서 잠손 오버.
Okay. Ready? So let's read that part together. You outshine the Sharavakas and Patek Buddhas. The laying out of the Stark Sutra tells us that as the jewels from the ocean outshine all the double of the southern continent, those who develop bodhicitta in their mind stream outshine the whole group of Sharavakas and Patek Buddhas. The Sutra on Maitreya's life story says that just as a small prince outshines even a group of elderly ministers, or just as a Garuda chick outshines a group of other birds, a fledgling bodhicitta who has developed bodhicitta in his or her mind stream outshines the whole group of Charavakas and Pateka Buddhas. This happens through the power of altruism. Moreover, a diamond may develop a flaw, but it will still be called a diamond, still outshine golden jewelry, and still dispel poverty. Similarly, those who have developed bodhicitta in their mind streams may not be capable of training themselves in the task of this one's children, but they are still called children of the victors, because of the bodhicitta in their mind stream. Of all precious collections of virtue, theirs is the best. It will even outshine just the merits and wisdom collections of the Saravakas and Patik Buddhas. And they say that all samsaric poverty is dispelled by it. Bodhicitta alone should be recognized as the essence of the 84 heaps of the. As Atisha said, give up this life, meditate only on love, compassion, and bodhicitta.
Everyone got it? Maybe some people doesn't see the page number. What page number?
506. 506 for the
Blue book.
outline part.
Outline 506. You found? Do you find? You don't find? What page? There. What the red book?
The outline is 326.
Red book is a 554. 554. Okay, what do you understand that? You read that. Do you have any questions? Shetan ta nyarang phaba ina ta phaba da chombar was toban thombo shur was. Ko pa sang it.
So Charavakas and the Parteka Buddhas, those are the four distors of the heroes and sorted with others, right? So those the beings, they have already freed themselves from cyclic sin. They have abandoned all the delusions.
Treda shajagu sem ani thoma chiwa kala ko da chombar yo mares. So nyumochu pa yo mares.
So when you first become sattva, and when you have first generated bodhicitta, you become bodhisattva, right? At that time, you haven't abandoned any of the delusions yet.
옛날야 유연되기 전에 콘도 타마 수준으로 그래서 말했어.
삼배찬.
아, 나다 유연되기 전에 또 삼배찬. 그러다 다 유연다 상주고 또 삼배찬에서 가고. 삼배답이
But because of their power of the mind, right, the thought, wanting to free all sentient beings from the sufferings, and for that wanting to achieve enlightenment, so that because of that thought, it outshines all these Parteka Buddhas and Saravakas.
제다 상주고 섬자들 된적이 편치 뭐 니바치 못하는 이 말에.
And so the bodhicitta is, so bodhicitta has this kind of a great power and benefits.
Yes.
I have a question about that. With the Shravakas and the Paika Buddhas, they've already accumulated bodhicitta, right? They've already generated it before they got rid of the delusion.
가서 제다 돈을 상주 띄어 말했어. 대 얘랑으로 봐. 년대다 라자 니게 잘 상주 요 말다서.
No, they don't have bodhicitta in their mind. Yeah.
Okay.
If they have, then of course, then they don't have to be outshined.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I thought maybe they would have it.
No. 년투가 람라 슈딩다. 라자가 람라 슈딩 상주 요 말했어.
So the Parteka Buddhas and Saravakas are from the hero's path, and sorted as the Hinayana path. So they achieve that state of Arhat from the Hinayana path. And so those who enter in the Hinayana path don't have bodhicitta.
당게 담보라 사실 담보라 대화침을 주고 상주고 셈되려면 상주고 셈매나 그 대화침 가다 작용 말했어.
So the first benefit is that bodhicitta is the gateway to the Mahayana path. So if you have not generated bodhicitta, then you don't enter into the Mahayana path, or you don't become bodhisattva.
Okay. 아니 상주고 셈 제나 아니 얘랑 그 람데 샤니 아니 내가 제가 가간도서 말했어.
So if you generate bodhicitta, then you don't enter into the Hinayana path, you enter into the Mahayana path.
배나 레구절 내가 정해잖아. 가지고. What the is it? Supervisor. About the supervisor, who is that?
Manager,
Manager. Right?
supervisor, and manager, like
Manager.
in the work field.
That's right. 제자 and supervisor the manager 차서와이나 and supervisor cool legating rosa was. In a Kaza Kachibar was.
So when a supervisor becomes manager, is he still supervisor? No, he's been promoted to manager, right? So he's no longer supervisor.
In a cool supervisor legating chasing it was. Kochatan Yamu was.
So he's the same person, right? But before he was supervisor, but now he's a manager. And because he went through that, of course, he has the knowledge of supervising. He has he's manager now, but he has the knowledge of supervising.
Right? Or tele the chibare and Yaram Papa to Zugo, Shanchu say Tamala, and Ko Shanchu Sama Chasa, Yaram Papa Mares in a Ko Kansa Chibar there is. Kansa Chibada Karota. Kaji.
What a
Compabores, Papa Chades. But then Yaram Pa, Yaram Dachumba, but the Shanchu Malona, Shansu Sorchereta, Com Papa Chades.
Got a papa.
That Shada Yendu Papa Mare, teaching Papa Mare, Papa is. Papa record. Young Jim Papa Pusima, 10 mares. Papa Pusima, Tonum, some Koram Matu and Papa Jana, Papa Pusima Chanoris. Papa is. Yendu Papa Maraja Papa Mare, my teaching Papa Mares.
So there's a debate about superior being, right? Superior being, Arya being, or superior beings. Superior beings, you have entered into the path and gone through the superior path, like the path of seeing, path of meditation, and path of normal learning, when of these three vehicles, right? Three with the hearers, soul realizers, and the Mahayana. So that makes it 9 superior beings. But then there is another superior being, who is a superior being, but neither of these three category superior being, like hearers, soul realizer. Hearers the arhat, like superior being. And then after he achieved the hearer's arhatship, then he comes back and enters into the bodhicitta, Mahayana path, right? He's the bodhisattva. So now he's in the Mahayana path of accumulation at the beginning. Right? So he is a superior being, right? Because he has abandoned the delusions. He has seen the emptiness directly, right? So he is a superior being, but he's not a superior being of Mahayana, because he's not reached the Mahayana path of seeing yet. But because he's not in the Hinayana path either, hearer's path, so therefore he's not hearers or soul realizers superior beings, but he's a superior beings.
What are the things, is it accumulation, preparation, seeing, or is it?
No, the seeing, meditation, and normal learning.
No more learning, aren't you Buddha then?
No, that's at the being. You're a superior being. Superior being. Yeah.
Still working on it.
No. So in the Mahayana, when you are in the path of normal learning, you're a superior being. You're a superior Buddha, Arya Buddha. You are Arya Buddha. The person is called Arya Buddha.
But so what are,
So same with the hearers and soul realizers. Yeah. Arhats. Yeah.
Okay.
so arhat's bodhisattva?
Karse.
It can be an arhat that is not a bodhisattva.
Yes. 다정바 얘기 전에서 많이 열었어.
Oh, Nindu Dachumba Chasa Dachumba.
Yeah. So when you reach through the Hinayana path, like through the hearer's path, when you achieve the path of normal learning of the hearer's path, then at that time you become arhat, but you are not bodhisattva.
Okay, yes.
What do they call hearers? What is hearer?
Hearers. ஞானத்தோட கருத்து.
Nyendulanada Garo. The Yendu Rashid Gando.
ஞானபாதம் தோபச.
Ta Kanji Raja said, and ta Pachite Sarchina. Nintu said, any Sabatame judgment of Tokalagalai, Tandayako, and the Slovasian Balasania, and the Danganye, Tuni Yamnichibaris. Raja said, and Sabatame Negaza, and the Dangashimbara Mateva, Susu Company, and the Yamnichin was a Konichi.
So hearers means like hearing, right? Hearers. The person who hears, could hear. So anyway, so that's hearing to the hearing or listening to the advice. Yeah, so listening to the advice or teaching, And even at the end of it's at the end of its path, it still hears or listens to the advice and the teaching, and through that, then it achieves its state of arhat. So that, because of that, it's called hearers. And then the solitary realizer, solitary means by itself, And so at the end of the its path, it doesn't depend, at the end of its path, at the end of his or her path, he doesn't listen. He doesn't listen to the advice or teachings, from others. He or she meditates on his own. So it's called solitary realizer. Like that. So those are the two, so hearers and solitary realizers.
Okay. No. Okay. Yeah. You have a question?
Yeah, just very basic question. But just to be clear, when we talk about the Mahayana path, do we mean by that becoming a bodhisattva? Is it the same thing?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when
so
you-
when you become bodhisattva, then you enter into Mahayana path.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, about hearers, I was under the impression that it meant people that actually heard the Buddha at that time, and they formed a council. They were the original Theravada. So they literally heard the Buddha,
What's that?
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Sangye sungwe kopso, ngosu sangye sungwe kopso,
Yeah.
uta sangye sangye ne, ngo sungwe kopso kuzuki nyembara te, dene chane den nyento sa, nyento lam sha.
제가 년바도 두어다 소리나자 사제사 년초 소소 개개사 년초 소다 년초 그래서.
Yeah, and you can refer to that too, but generally, that's at that particular moment, at that time when Buddha, became enlightened. Soon after that, he taught the Dharma, right, Four Noble Truths. At that time, but that that can be hearers even at this time too. So you can listen from whoever from you listen to, your teacher, who can be an emanation of the Buddha also. So depends, So it doesn't have to be only at that time. It can be now too.
오케이. 다 간지 상주성 그 편에서 강도 변해. 니나 자좀 봐야 봐야. 상주 무슨 토마팅 소소 지원이나 삼배천이 상주 선바디 그 파줘야 될까지 군 그게 수지 넣은 거래 라버다. 수지 넣은 거래.
And
고와 제벌 사도로.
so once you have generated bodhicitta, even if you are ordinary bodhisattva, ordinary means like, in the path of accumulation or path of preparation, not seen emptiness directly yet. And at that time, even if you are ordinary bodhisattva, ordinary practitioner, you outshine the superior arhats, of the hearers and solitary risers.
배차잖아. 근데 땅만데 자올로서 자갈라 자보다 다 롬보고 루소여로 왔어. 근데 자보 포에나 보고 추주이나야 돼. 롬보 속한가 롬보도 다 보겐고 로 tukchu도 주야시나 보고 추주데 너 그러나 간지 고사데 자보 보고 더 와래서 배텐도 와래서 장도.
And so, like it says, just as a small prince now outshine even a group of elderly ministers. So the ministers, like in India, where they have this royal system, right, where the king is ruling the country, and if the child, is born in the royal family, then the child is called prince, even if it's just like infant, or toddler, and it will outshine all these elderly ministers. The ministers, even though they have all this knowledge about running the country, going to war and so forth, but because of his status, right, because of his position, it will outshine the minister. So the minister will still listen to the prince like that.
오케이. 진짜 다 상주섬 때 공고다. 아주 상주섬 상주섬 공 매바이나 또만이 또 같은 지처럼 상제 요 말해서.
And so therefore we have to generate bodhicitta. So without generating bodhicitta, even if you have realized emptiness directly, you will not be able to achieve state of full enlightenment.
제다 상주섬 매는 코를 좋아요. 랍초고다 장소.
You can be free from cycle existence, but you can't achieve state of full enlightenment.
오케이. 제다 상주섬 때 빼면서가 내가 첨보 아니 네바 첨보 그거 요에 말아.
And so we should think of this bodhicitta as being very important and very beneficial.
네 상주섬 때발에 되게 이제 고래서 이제.
And so of course you need a great compassion in order to generate the bodhicitta.
제다 이제 어때? 근데다 다 당연하죠. 되는데 봐. 동아가 바까디 나나대외한 동원에 동아 찬데가 이제 잠반지 제고 대전에는 이제 상처를 제거해서 랍대 봐. 아니 이제 상처가 좀 제한테 이제 샘질할 때 제고 이제 샘질라 손을 맞아나 이제 제쳐도 요 말에.
And so just like we talked about earlier, seeing the suffering or understanding the sufferings of other sentient beings, right? Which is, and then wanting them to be free from those suffering, which is the great compassion. And so through that, and great compassion, loving kindness and great compassion, and you will be able to generate bodhicitta.
제다 뇨모 제사 녀바 사사야 제 semch라 되는 양도 뇨모 제거 녀바 사고 요래 사사가 예제 sem체지면나 나는 뇨모 제거 말어.
And so therefore the generation of bodhicitta depends on other sentient beings. Right? So through seeing the suffering of other sentient beings and wanting to free them from those sufferings, and taking the responsibility upon oneself, to do that, and we will generate bodhicitta. So we generate bodhicitta also on the basis of independence upon other sentient beings, and even the creation of negative karmas also are independence of other sentient beings.
제 장업에는 가도 zoba gomse 예제 semch라 되는 곰곰문도 제 곰토문도 와.
And meditating on patience also is done on the independence on other sentient beings. So without other sentient beings, we will not be able to generate or meditate on patience, right?
빼드네 요래 빼드네. 그냥 가서 노르를 붙여서 다 대상도 요네면 같이. 내만 노르를 붙여서 줘서 와서. 노르를 붙여서 티케요. 아니 쳐다야 보다. 최종관을 샤 저번에나 다 미들 군도고 노르서 돼. 간주 종교에서 와서. 다 땡기밀로서 돼. 얘네만 가시러.
So there is a wish fulfilling jewel. So I don't know if it exists, it still exists now. And in some way it fulfills, right, the jewels now, like gold, silver, diamonds, those are jewels. Though they do fulfill your wishes in some way, but that's called a wish fulfilling jewel, and that you find somewhere deep down in the ocean, and you bring that and you wipe it and clean it and then put it on top of the Victoria banner, and then you make a wish, and then every wish will come true. It's like the genie. You rub the lamp and then the genie comes out and then it says, what do you want? And you say, I want this and that, and you will get everything. So there's such kind of a jewel like that. It's called a wish fulfilling jewel.
땡기만 장하더니 요새는 근데 요새서 왔더니 좋은
So I think there has been that kind of jewel in the ancient time before.
아니 잡어 트메켄데 세다 군도가 노르 본지 세죠. 아니 대 되게 잡어요. 아니 대 트메켄데가 아니 텔트 아니 트메켄데가 바와가 잡어 트메켄데라 녀바다네 아니 그로 비싸로 와서.
And so there was like the story about Gyalbo, the king Timekunde. I think it's one of the previous life of Buddha Shakyamuni, who was practicing generosity at that time. And so he was born as a prince, as a king and a prince, and he was practicing. So people will come and ask for things, and he will give them because he had that jewel, right? The Ushufun jewel.
Father's jewel.
The father's jewel, and so they will have a lot of wealth, and they can give. He can give. Then there was this evil person, who knew about that wish fulfilling jewel, and then he asked for that. And because he's a bodhisattva, perfected in the practice of generosity, so he will give anything. So he even gave that, jewel, to the evil person, and then caused a lot of problems and so forth. So the king, his father, became angry at him, and then he kicked him out of the kingdom, and there's a story like that. So there may have been that kind of real wish fulfilling jewel.
제자 트메켄데가 고랑 그 보근이가 심바다. 고랑 깨매 좀 봤다. 고랑 미니자 좀 봤다. 아니 내부 방도 노로 찬을 좀 봤다 하셔 그래서.
So he's perfected in practice of generosity, right? So he gives everything, whatever people ask, like to the extent that he even gave his children and his queen and all the treasures, from the treasure house, of the king.
아니 주마 물름 때네다 물름 잡네다 잡어 트메켄데가 텐디 좀 봤다 오네. 오늘 사만 남바다 배 임바이나 아니 티 데메텔라 때네. 아니 제대고요. 다다 수용화 쇼. 내가 갈래야? 아니 제대야 수용화 버렸어.
젠프가 담보.
너무 좀 피더라 봐. 센터다. 시고 가는 낸들이 좀 봐. 상세 봤던 거는 사만 남바다 배 임바이나 티 데메텔라 때네. 니 덴토블 믹시 소쇼는 믹시 소용화 버렸어.
And he even gave his eye. Somebody asked for his eye, and he even gave his eye. And so, because he has perfected in that practice of generosity, so anything people ask, he will just give. And to prove that if he has really perfected in the practice of generosity, then he uttered, and they call it the word of truth. So it says, if it's really true that I have perfected in the practice of generosity, then may my eyes be restored. And then it restored. So that's the sign that it was really perfected, in the practice of generosity. Yeah, there's a very, interesting story like that. I don't think it's been translated in English yet. And so these are like story about the practice of generosity, the power of the practice of generosity, and so forth. And so like the bodhicitta, is like that. So that's the best of the jewels. So that can outshine all other jewels. So just like that, with the bodhicitta, you carry the most merit. So all other merits will be outshined by the bodhicitta. So that beautiful jewel, if it's down in the ocean, in the mud, then by itself it doesn't do anything. But if you pick it up, wash it, clean it, and then put it on top of the Victory banner and make a wish, then it can do a lot. And so just like that, bodhicitta, if you generate bodhicitta, then you can achieve state of enlightenment. Otherwise, it's true that the sentient beings are all sufferings and they're tormented by three kinds of sufferings all the time, but they'll be there. Nothing can be done. But if you generate bodhicitta, then with that you can achieve state of full enlightenment, and through that you can release all these sentient beings from suffering. So how do we develop bodhicitta? How do we develop bodhicitta? How do we meditate on bodhicitta? We've been talking a lot about bodhicitta, right? So what is called bodhicitta? What is called bodhicitta? Is this bodhicitta? So like attachment, is a mind, right? It's a state of mind that thinks that, oh, I want this, I want that, and so forth. So that's called attachment, right? And so like that, so what is called bodhicitta?
That's the mind that aspires to enlightenment for the benefit of others.
Okay. Other people? Are you guys different? No, if you have to think yourself, okay? Yes?
Mostly I would agree, except that I would say for all beings, because it includes yourself as well as others.
Okay. Any other people? Bob?
Same as Jennifer really thought. Maybe if I say it in different words, the
Wait.
wish to attain the state of full enlightenment in order to free all other sentient beings from suffering.
Okay. Margaret? Think about.
No, I think
Yeah, we need to know.
there is the aspiration part, but like to really generate bodhicitta, like you have to first really understand suffering.
No. I know that. That's
Right,
but
sorry, I don't. But so what is?
I need what means bodhicitta. Like I give example. Attachment means I want this, I want that, I want that. Like that. Oh, I like that. I want to buy that. I want that. Something like that. What means bodhicitta? Deborah?
Well, I just have a question about the definition, because I basically agree with what was said, but to free all sentient beings from suffering, or to free all sentient beings from samsara, because it's a little slightly different.
Okay. Now what do you think?
Samsara.
Mark?
About her?
No. You think you
You
own.
didn't answer. I mean, samsara and suffering are kind of the same thing.
What means samsara?
Well, you're polluted aggregates and based on delusion.
Okay. Good. Okay.
I think it's pretty much, like I said, I do agree with Jennifer, but I think it's the wish for everyone to be free from suffering.
What they would say?
From samsara?
Well, is suffering, saying to be free from suffering, is that saying it's the same as being free from samsara?
Oh, I see. 동화를 탈바다 때는 거월을 탈바서 집어래. 동화 탐정 탈바서야 된 거월을 탈바서 집어래 올라왔다. You can say that as the same. So you're saying that wanting to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings, or to lead all sentient beings to the liberation, or to free sentient beings from suffering, free sentient beings from samsara, like that?
Yeah, there's a slight difference with it. You could be free from suffering by continually taking rebirth in a higher realm. Like you're still in samsara, but you're free of suffering. So there's a slight difference.
Not just you. I think whenever you have to think about the free from other beings, semje je dunga tradition pa shanchi su che dare. So semje je dunga tradition lo che sa na pa shanchi su me ya ro yo. Pena shedan pena.
Mar sang so sang to do lo bora.
Che da semje tamsho dunga le ta dunga le che da anga sang che sa ko to go do sam.
디sam게 되네 다 상게 오랑 심지 탐정가 상게 살아 거고도 대시 당봉 알아 상게고도 대시도 땡게 지게 삼아드네
다트니 차도 요나도 차도 고기로 와 샘치가 동아
코너 세트 윤들이다 저어데 나 상게 사 심지 탐정 상게 살아 거고도 대시도 나 상게고도 삼바데일라 전섬스 거르기 심지 탐정 코알에 타와치고도 대시도 나 상게고도 딜라 전섬스 거르
다 땡지버지버를 거기는 저기 단다
마 코알에 타와다 상게고 가가라
코조다 상조 단다 띵 코알 타와마 버지 뇨모를 타와 제고 도 샘제도 동아를 타와 제고도 단다 띵 샘슈차로 용으로 왔어 제가 지버지
상게 살아 거선 디
야
제셔 말아
슈차로 왔어 제다다 코알 타와 제고 나 간지 산심 샘 손으로 올라와 이나 찍디 슈차로 올라다 간지
Right, I mean, so basically is to achieve enlightenment, oneself, to achieve enlightenment. The purpose of one's achieving enlightenment is to help others, right? So in order to help others, fully, I have to be enlightened first myself. And therefore, I want to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of others. When you think like that, that's called bodhicitta. But if you specify in benefiting sentient beings, right, how do you, at what range, So the best would be, and of course, just liberating them is not good enough, They still have the obscurations. They still haven't perfected, in benefiting others. So therefore, that's not good enough. I have to lead them all to the state of full enlightenment. For that, I'm going to have to achieve enlightenment myself first. And so that's like the highest, right? And then, of course, then free from all the sufferings, or free from samsara, or even like benefiting, in some way, to have a higher rebirth and so forth. So that's also benefiting. But basically having the thought, wanting oneself to be enlightened, so that one can benefit others.
Okay, then that do Jennifer Bob Kunzula that then
So like that, whatever, so you guys, most of you said, like Jennifer, Bob, and so forth. So whatever you guys said, it's really, it's like that, yeah. So wanting to achieve enlightenment, oneself, and enlightenment to benefit others.
근데 이 영화라 팅한다 semje dunga 나서 시고래 semje dunga 나서 마시나 semje 담저 산지 dunga 타오지 산지 고마도이나 코로 째가 말와.
So if you want to have that thought, then first of all, of course, you have to have compassion towards them, which is like seeing the sufferings of other sentient beings and wanting them to be free from those sufferings. So if you don't understand their suffering, you will not have that compassion either.
Okay. then 나도 삼네 가로 수다 초지 도칼리 진짜 왔다 봤다 다도 초지도 말을 멤메 맞지 봤네 멤메서가 시죠 동아들이 내가 안데 이 많음지 나도 삼네 쓰는 시원도스 간지 당게 봐 동아들이 나서도 시외 토네다 콘도 동아들 자야겠지 상지 고마도 고도 삼며 채운 것으로.
So by understanding the wretched condition of the sentient beings, like we talked about earlier, like they're tied by the delusions, and in the cage, locked in the cage, of self-grasping ignorance, and tormented by all kind of sufferings, throughout day and night, like that. When I think about that, with that, by thinking about that, then wanting them to be free from that suffering, and in order to free that, then I myself have to achieve enlightenment first, so that I can help them, to be free from those suffering. When you have that thought, that's called the supreme mind or the bodhicitta.
배셔나 출로들이야 스쿨 인도거나 스쿨 찌들이야 나사 두어요 봐. 찌를 매버리나. 아니 말 찔러 나서 그냥 쇼로라 배나 마도 때 강바로 셔요. 난 통하지. 찔러 나서 텔 두어지 나려 요지. 쇼로 만토나 아주 쇼로로 만통이 되는 아주 코드만 잡지 되게 말아. 아주 나서 통고에 말아. 찌데 코나다 통되게 왔다 왔다데 자고도 생각을 봤어.
And so, like if we see, for example, if we see two squirrels out there, and one has this an disease inside his body, like a cancer, right, which we don't see, but on the other one is wounded, like big cut on its limb or somewhere, and we see the two of them, and which one will have compassion more towards, right? Towards the one who is like going through like bare suffering, right, and of being wounded. And so we don't see the suffering on other squirrel, but it has some suffering which is hidden. We don't see that. Therefore, we will not have that much of compassion for that. We only have compassion for the squirrel which is wounded.
제가 당에다나 창설라 동아영엔 통고에 말 창설라. I didn't see any soft with you guys. Maybe you guys are very super duper happy. Overwhelmed happy. I couldn't say any suffering, any sad. Now how can I understand you guys suffering? First check myself. How many suffering for me? What kind of wish like? Take the example of myself, then look at others. Right? Karo. Shunjuna sixio karo. Senchen the dog namlasam. Mulam tayam ka ranga tenda.
Did I?
Mulam tayam mamina jit the kalanis. Or that tikterda. 소소 간지 동화가 나타다 물음다 많이나 추 가로 랑 마섬나 제지다 다처럼 밀음니 말해서 좀 말해서.
So you have to think about oneself first, in order to be able to think about others, right? Is that true? So sometimes we mostly only think about ourselves, but we don't think about. So we think about ourselves first, and then just like we want that and that, the others want that too. So therefore, may others have like that. So that comes, the wanting others to be free from suffering or wanting others to be happy comes from wanting oneself to be happy and oneself to be free from suffering. Without, if you don't have that for oneself, you will never have on others. So that's why Shantideva said in his Guide to the Buddhist Way of Life, if that kind of thought, if you don't have for yourself, even in the dream, then there's no way you can have that kind of thought for others.
Okay? That means, okay, always don't think, I'm too old person or too much problem, suffering, or don't think like that way, okay? Just, for me, I don't want any sufferings. Same as also that. I want to be happy. Same as like others, they like that. Okay? Okay, any other questions? I saw some people raised hand. Who did? You did?
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify. So we say that that we want to attain enlightenment in order to help others be free and to attain enlightenment. But I'm assuming that we are, prior to being enlightened, we are still benefiting. I mean, while we're on the path, we are benefiting. It's not like we have to wait until we are enlightened before we can help.
Exactly, we do that, but in order to benefit full other beings, full, complete, we cannot do. We don't know what to say, what to do. Therefore, first I need to complete enlighten, then I know how to do things. How can I say? Like that.
You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, like your benefit is not limited.
Yeah, limit.
At that point, you're limited. So, but when you become fully enlightened, then you'll be like able to benefit in every way.
Which could take
Yeah.
many lifetimes.
Eons.
Eons. We're talking about countless great eons.
Yes.
So if we just, obviously we're still like maybe in the beginning of the path, and then, but if we have generated once, really sort of feeling the compassion and thinking that we're bodhicitta, does it count?
Because
장주쌤도 말해야 되나? 장주쌤도 쌤보 여보 찍으러다.
Are we bodhisattva now?
no. 나도 단단 가서 샤지 좀 부스만 찍을 때도 찍으랬어.
Yeah, that's called artificial bodhicitta.
Yeah.
So we'll have that. We'll have that. A lot of us will have that
Yeah.
many times. So by making effort, by thinking about that, I say, oh yeah, that's right. I should have that thought. So you can have that thought like that, but it has to be spontaneous, effortlessly, and it has to be there all the time.
이나 들이 찌워도 돼요. 대체는 야보래 찌워도.
Yeah, but that's good. The artificial is good, So first you have artificial, then through that develop more and more and more, and then it becomes, real bodhicitta.
Yeah, we just walking there was good. Even if we're not near the door, we're just walking that way. It's good sign. Okay? Yes?
So I think in the third chapter of the Guide to the Bodhisattva Way of Life, there's 2 verses for taking the Bodhisattva vow. And the next verse is what was on the previous page, which says, "Today I've been born into the Buddha's race, I've become a child of the Buddha." And so I'm wondering, when we're generating artificial bodhicitta and taking the Bodhisattva vow, how should we view the meaning of that verse?
그래서
당화도 장주섬 가서 장주섬 기도인데 장주섬도 벌레가 되는 건데 근데 가는 섬당으로서 되는 상계를 속에 상계에서 나교도 시죠. 어디디.
제가 다 대리 수소가 산지 가로 상적 셈제 하시고 야보 총송 아니 다 산지에서 이제 와다 다 되게 랍자데 냠바바 냠 되게 랍자데 마냠바데 냠네 책임 삼고 그래서.
So that's to encourage you, to think of you being as bodhisattva, and now from there on, now you're bodhisattva, so you can't just do all kinds of naughty things, bad things. You have to behave like a bodhisattva, and then just follow the bodhisattva path.
Yeah.
So it says, today I'm born in the race of Buddhas.
산지에서 다제도.
I become a Buddha's child,
다는 다 끝이네다.
and from now on, whatever I do
Ridante
will be in
Lamzade.
accordance with the family, in accordance of the Buddha's behavior, like Bodhisattva's behavior.
리단트 벨람자데.
Gyume to merit.
제가
So
많이
then it's, I will never pollute, that the race of the Buddha. So, but if you do wrong things, bad things that you are as a bodhisattva you're not supposed to, then you're polluting that family. So that's making a vow to yourself, to engage in bodhisattva's part, the behavior, and not to pollute it.
배차잖아 니제도 반나 상적고 셈 제타바는 니제도 뺀 내가 심부러 산제는 니제도 내가 심부러스.
So the compassion is there all the time, So you have to have the compassion all the time. Even when you become bodhisattva, you need a compassion. Even if when you become Buddha, you need a compassion. The compassion is there, of course, but it is very important because of the compassion. You will work for the benefit of others.
제자 그로 오만 주페 나라야 바데 다와트베 담보 인지 첨벌은 초바지베가 아니 고바트 인지 첨보데 통다 발섬데 같이 와레스 소마레스.
So at the beginning, it is very important for you to develop bodhicitta. In the middle, it is very important because to carry on, and then in the end, very important to benefit others. So that's why, so the Chandakirti, prays to compassion, and at the beginning, of his composition of middle way path.
강시 때니 예벨로서 본선다 사반다나 벨란신다 인데고 노쇼네라 바토가 다죠 산치 딱 강시 때니 예벨로서 본선다 사반다나 벨란신다 인데고 노쇼네라 맘바 가로 다치 오마지 제절에 나
담보도 사ben 나시 개점 버렸어.
담보도 사ben 나지레스 아니 니바데 줄리 나지레스 아니 스마데 아니 그래 로도 못 받는다 버렸어. 된지나 담보 셈제에 내가서 니제도 개점 봐. 셈제에 내가다요 아니 줄리 된다와 개점 봐. 아니 내가 먼저에 사제 가라야나 내가 못 받는다와 개점 버렸어. 되나 니제도 그래나 곰고 그랬어. 근데 개점 보다 니제라 통화 줘봐 인스.
So the great compassion is very important, from at the beginning, in the middle, and the end. In the beginning, it's like a seed, So without a seed, you can't grow the crops, right, or fruits. And so it's in the beginning, it's like very important, like a seed. In the middle, it's like the other conditions, like the fertilizers, and the moisture and so forth. So that helps, the crop and the seed to develop into crops. And the end is like the fruit, the crops. So you work, you sow the seed, you fertilize it and do all these things, but if you don't get the fruit or the crops, then what's the use of that, right? So at the end, it's very important, like the crops.
This is the debate in the New York, there with the monks. Now I forgot. Kachetanya Javelo so Pono, the Savantana Pella, Chenda Roshana Pato, Tisha Doko Tajam, Tisha Doko Tomoni to brush, Nito Sanjin and not to watch, Sanjay Sanjo, Sambanetus. Yeah, this is Omanjupegi. This is the Omanjuju. Now I forgot. I was memorizing the text. Now getting old, I didn't study, then just forgot. Like that, okay? Now what do we talk about? Cheza, Matu Shanchu some gum, Shanchu some good in a canny gum, something to it. Shanchu some good or there's some good, some good.
So, of course, we need to know what is bodhicitta, right? So it's meditate on bodhicitta, meditate on bodhicitta, but then what is bodhicitta? If we don't know, then how will we be able to meditate on bodhicitta?
Mandalavche. Chuto cup kisho lavana cup the kagin and the thing the cup the Shumishasa the there's something no door. Cup go cup can the key chucho goes.
Like if you don't know what is cup and somebody say, bring me a cup, I will need to drink water, then you don't know what to bring, what is that, I need to bring. So, but if you know what is cup, then you say, oh yeah, right here, so you bring the cup and you pour the water and you can drink it.
Okay.
So just like that, you have to know what is bodhicitta in order to meditate or develop bodhicitta.
Okay. That to do something, Semche Tamshu tend to Sanji combo to go and do something like this.
And so in short, it's like a wish, wanting to achieve state of full enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. So that's the thought you have to develop, right? Wanting to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. That thought is called bodhicitta, and when you meditate on that, that's the thought you have to hold in your mind all the time.
That take Devala, Tingala Kande Gorsana, and the same set of Yarana, Devando Pachinto, Dugama de Pachinto Imba, and the Sosa Kadi Chimbo Imba, the Rigo and some Mutayore.
And so then, before you can have that thought, of course, you have to go through all that cause, for generating that thought. And so it starts with developing the thought, because equanimity, equalizing oneself with others, just like the others are all equal in one, equal to oneself. There's no friends and enemies, particularly. And they're all same being enemies, same being friends, and so forth. So that kind of thought, equalizing thought. And then how they have all been mother and so forth. So through that, then you develop, eventually develop that bodhicitta.
Okay. Teda Mudojana Yaro, Semche Panda gender, Yanda to be Shanchum does. Shanchum Sempe, Shanchum motion Yaro.
So the generation of the mind, the mind of enlightenment, is wishing to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of others. So then same with the bodhicitta, the dedication verse, may the supreme Bodhi mind, born and rise, were not born and rise, and so forth. So that's the same, wishing to achieve or generate bodhicitta. And so then also in the verse of the refuge in bodhicitta, right? To add all, may I benefit, may I achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all. So that's also for generating bodhicitta. So you read in all these different texts, from different texts, and the meaning is all coming to the same. And so that's what you have to understand. And so you have to be able to put it in the right order. Oh, what's this talking about? Oh, this is talking about this. This is talking about this. This is all talking about this. So you have to be able to put it together. So like there was this guy, who didn't know, who knew Om Mani Padme Hum, he recited Om Mani Padme all the time, but then he didn't know how to read it. And then when he learned to read, and then he find it, very difficult. This is a very tough mantra. This is a very tough mantra. And then he says, oh no, it is Om Mani Padme Hum that I've been reciting all the time.
Same as I had the problem one time. I said, no problem. I learned one day, no problem. Maybe someone told me or something. I said, no problem. No. I talked to Tomchi. I learned something. I said, I know, no problem. He said, yeah, you know that. I know, no problem, I know, right? But I don't know how you write. Then I said, oh, I know, no problem, no problem, no problem. Now I told that, I remember that I told him, today I learned new word. I said, what do you learn? No problem. He said, you know that. Then, oh, really? Oh, yeah, that. Yeah, this is all with upper, right? We have same word, all call it. Tenda chibayna, and shunda, mudakaka, yours.
So even if you have the same meaning, but there are many texts, many versions, many different way of writing, like the bodhicitta case.
Okay? 대다다 슈먼의 장집섬 검라나 덕섬 다시 아래 내 임기를 내주섬 마스마치 샘제 탐주도 산지 공부 도브쇼 선배 로지 들리 섬보다 되고다.
And so next time, when you are told to meditate on bodhicitta, then come to this conclusion that you have to have this thought, thinking, or wanting to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings.
Okay? Yes, your question?
Oh, I forgot again. It was
Oh.
something about the path and the four oppositions. And so seeing online
Oh.
is one way to clear.
Yeah.
So small pain comes up during the day. So one thing I could learn today is that if it's, rather than just keep thinking about it,
Yeah.
then stop.
Yeah,
Set one moment.
Oman Pemeo. For regret, first we need to, today I did bad, I'm sorry, I did bad thing. Then regret Oman Pemeo, Ombenza Sado. Okay? Yes.
Sometimes when I'm having trouble, I recite the Great Heart mantra.
Yeah, you can do any
Is
kind of.
that- I mean, I do a mantra.
Yeah, it's fun. You can have any
Residence
yeah,
for me.
that's fun. 기가 나도 메토 강압을 하대요. 가서 계속서라야 소소고 아니 레단데를 하대요.
Yeah, so whichever you find more
Yeah.
beneficial for yourself, you can do that. They're all same from their side, but how we feel from our side, So some people have more feeling towards that, and others, have that. So whichever mantra you have more, you feel more resonating or feeling, then you can recite that. They're all same.
Okay.
For purification practice, is it more meaningful to do it right at the moment when you have the negative practice, or is it okay? Like I'm thinking when you're at work, if you have it, should you make sure you have that moment to purify it right then and there?
Maybe not. Maybe you the walking time with the people think, oh, they're crazy. I think, yeah. Kids, hold on, I want to put it on. No, that when you come back home, you can do that. Even you're not able to do that like atisha,
제 돈도 참 나도 따라치냐고.
Yeah, if you possible, it's good, but we are not possible. Like atisha, whenever he have any bad thoughts, broken vows, immediately he's purified. Immediately that time. But for us, if you possible, you can do it, but it may be not possible.
So yeah, you can do it right there, there and then. If it's convenient for you to do that.
Yeah.
Like there was a story of this master. He says, oh, you should not, as a monk, you should not sit on leather, animal skin, and then immediately he stand up and then took off. Like that. So those kind of things.
Yeah, we read then also you read again. Then if you're sick, you're allowed to read that. Then he bring back again. He then like that. Yeah, the masters do also like that kind of. One master, the one Kadama master, when he go to bathroom, always, he see small piece,
Wood.
wood,
Thorn.
always, touch his rope. When he go down, I say, okay, maybe I'm tricky. Then he said, no, maybe I'm not able to come back. I'm dry. Go bathroom. Then he go bathroom, then come back. Again he touches, or maybe I tricky. Or maybe not. If I go inside, maybe I'm not able to come back. It's just that kind of meditation for that impermanent. Like, always think like that. Okay? Okay, I think that's good. Thank you. I think main things also like 4 appointment powers to practice daily life, then also do the meditation for bodhicitta much as you can, day or night. In order to develop bodhicitta, we need to see, or we need to find, or we need to identify how this world is for very pure. No, we need to understand the sufferings, why we need, how we do. Okay? Okay, thank you.
Okay, please turn to page 39 of the prayer book for Thanksgiving Mandala offering. Saji perki juksing me tok tram ri rab ling ji ni de gyen padi sangye jing du mingte uwagi drokun namdak jing la chur pa shu je tsun lame kutse rab ten ching nap katrin le chok chur gye padang lo sang ten pedron me sasum gi drowe mun sel tak tu neg yur chig idam guru ratna mandalakam niryatayami. Page 43, the short long life prayer for His Holiness the Dalai Lama. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and joy, may Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chenrezig remain in life till samsara's end. Savory of the snowland teachings and transmigratory beings who extensively clarifies the path that unifies emptiness and compassion. To the lotus in the hand, Lord Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be fulfilled. Page 49, the short long life prayer for Lama Zopa Rinpoche. You who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Majjhima's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honoring the three jewels, Savior of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. Page 57, prayer dedication. Through this virtue may I swiftly gain Guru Buddha's state and place each and every sentient being without exception in that state. Precious supreme Bodhi mind, may it where unborn arise, and where born never decline but increase forevermore. Page 75, Migtse Ma. Migme Tsewe Ter Chen Chen Rezig Dri Me Kempe Wangpo Jampo Yang Dupu Malu Jomze Sangwe Da Ganchen Kepe Tsugyen Tsongkhapa Lo Sandrape Jabla So Wade.